Oh no, friends. The federal government has just released new data, and it's not good. Millions of Americans are having to pay hundreds of dollars more on many items due to the high cost of living. Also, inflation is affecting major programs, including Social Security. Experts have announced 3 Social Security changes that may surprise you. My dear friends, please do me a big favor and watch until the end of this video to hear about all of the details. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community. Every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.
Good afternoon. When we left before Thanksgiving, the air went out of the balloon in terms of the pressure of making sure that we got our funding bills together. So now we've pushed it to January. But you know what that gives us? That gives us time to actually work the bills that have already been passed out of the Senate Appropriations Committee onto the floor. And what are we doing this week? Nominations. We are not moving forward into regular order where we can consider the bills. For instance, my bill out of appropriations, the Labor H bill, which is the second largest bill under the purview of the Appropriations Committee, is languishing, waiting to come up to the floor so we can have healthy debate, we can set a Senate marker, and we can work together. We don't have top-line numbers. The Leader Schumer, hasn't even hardly mentioned this in the missives that I've seen that he's put out and the remarks that he has made, and he's squandering good time, resources, and I think the ability for us to really get our work done and set us on a path of frugal responsibility to where we can then become conference with the House. So my call to Senator Schumer today is put these bills on the floor. Minibuses, put them together. We already did one. We can do more. We've got time to do it. We've got nothing but nominations coming before us. That's signaling to the American people that this is not important to him and to the Senate. So our leadership on appropriations, certainly with Senator Collins leading the way for us on the Republican side and Senator Murray, have been, I think, very much joined at the hip here to say regular order on appropriations, discuss the bills. We've got a little bit more time. There's no reason to push it to January. We should be considering this today.
After years of inflation, American consumers are shouldering a burden unlike anything seen in decades, even as the pace of price increases has slowed. It now requires $119 to buy the same goods and services a family could afford with $100 before the crisis. Since early 2020, prices have risen about as much as they had in the full 10 years preceding the health emergency. It is hard to find an area of a household budget that has not been spared. Groceries are up 25% since January 2020. Same with electricity, used car prices, and auto insurance. A pound of ground beef now costs $5.23 on average. That is up from $3.89 in January 2020. Coffee is up about $2 a pound. Prices for fruits and vegetables are nearly 14% higher, and at one point, the price of a carton of eggs was triple in its pre-crisis price. Those figures help explain why Americans continue to feel strong dissatisfaction with the U.S. economy. Consumers' daily routines have largely returned to their pre-crisis normal, but the cost of living has not. After accounting for inflation, hourly wages have barely budged since 2020. And at the same time, housing affordability is at its worst on record. Auto loan rates have soared, and borrowing with a credit card has never been so expensive. Many Americans have seen their pay rise rapidly since 2020, but much of those gains have been lost by inflation. Some of the fastest wage increases in decades have left the average American largely no better off than before. Consumers' frustration with prices and elevated borrowing costs may help decide whether President Biden wins a second term. 4 in 10 swing state voters say that the U.S. economy is on their top issue in the 2024 presidential election. In October 2020, a Census Bureau survey showed a 4-person household spent an average of $238 in a week on food at home. 3 years later, a similar survey showed that number has jumped to $315. Grocery inflation is anticipated to return to less than 2% next year, but that might not offer consumers any relief. For most Americans, the cost of housing is by far the largest expense in any given month. As a result, the run-up in rental prices has made it harder for many to save or have enough cash left over for other spending. With the economy still in a not-so-great position, it is important for all Americans to be aware of any changes that may occur to their income. For example, there are 3 Social Security surprises that could catch millions of recipients off guard. Some individuals are of the impression that their monthly Social Security benefits will replace their former paychecks from work in full. But in reality, if you are an average earner, you should expect the money you receive from Social Security to replace about 40% of your pre-retirement wages. So to put it in another way, if you attempt to retire on Social Security alone, you could end up taking about a 60% pay cut. Social Security's main source of revenue is the money it collects in payroll taxes. Each year, there's a wage gap that is put in place to determine how much income is taxed for Social Security purposes. And right now, earnings up to $160,200 are taxed. And next year, that cap is rising to $168,600. So if Social Security is your only source of retirement income, then you may not have to worry about being taxed on your benefits. But if you have other sources of income, then a portion of your benefits will be taxed. If you are a single tax filer, a provisional income of $25,000 to $34,000 could mean being taxed on up to 50% of your benefits. So friends, please be sure to be aware of these rules. Well, my awesome and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.